More often than not, images are blurry. Rarely are they too sharp. So why are the blur filters used just as often? The reason is blur filters are the only way to remove moire patterns and halftone dots that occur when you scan printed material. You also might want to blur selections to make them blend with the image. Suppose you need to scan an image from an old brochure or magazine. If you scan the image, there are three possible results. The actual halftone screen used by the printer will appear, a moire pattern will appear, or both will appear in the scanned file. A moire pattern is an interference pattern produced by overlaying similar but slightly offset templates. The printer uses a screen, a metal plate with a pattern of holes, to produce the printed material. Your scanner has its own pattern that it uses to scan. The two screens usually interfere with each other, creating a moire pattern. The easiest way to reduce or remove a halftone screen pattern or moire pattern when scanning is to turn off auto sharpening. Most scanner software will automatically sharpen a scan to compensate for the imperfections of the scanner hardware. Turn off this feature if possible to reduce these patterns. To reduce or remove the effects of moire and halftone screens in Photoshop, use the Gaussian blur filter. Gaussian blur smooths differences in an image by averaging pixels next to the hard edges of defined lines and shaded areas. By applying the correct amount of blur, you can remove these unwanted patterns and still retain some sharpness in the image. Follow these steps to apply the Gaussian blur filter to a scanned image with moire or halftone screen patterns. After scanning an image, save it with a new name as a TIFF file. Make sure you are viewing the image at 50% or 100%. Zoom in if you aren't viewing it at one of these resolutions. Moire patterns can develop when viewing at other resolutions. Choose Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur and click the Preview checkbox in the dialog box if it isn't already checked. Drag the slider bar or enter a number to see the effect on the image. Try 1.0, then 2.0, and 3.0 to start and see what value removes the halftone dot pattern but retains some sharpness in the image. Click OK to close the dialog box and view the blur. You can always undo the change by choosing Edit, Undo, or pressing Ctrl+Z. Some images weren't meant to be tack sharp. Artistic images, for example, might look better out of focus or with a small amount of blur added. In this case, a value of 1.0 was applied, then green and blue highlights were reduced using Image, Adjustments, Color Balance.